Hello, welcome to the worst channel ever. I'm your host Whiskey Charlie and this is going to be a cereal unboxing. Now every day when I go outside, someone will stop me on the street and they'll ask, Whiskey Charlie, what is your favorite cereal? And you know, this should be a fairly simple, straightforward question to answer. You know, Whiskey Charlie, what is your favorite cereal? But these days people don't just want to hear your opinion, they want to see facts and figures that back up and support any statement that you make. And even though I've been consuming cereal since I was about yay big, my mom wasn't so much into the breastfeeding thing. But yeah, anyway, since I was a young child, I consumed cereal. So a question such as what is your favorite cereal should be a fairly simple thing to answer, yet it's not. So that's then therefore the reason for this episode and also for other episodes that will follow this one. We will look at all kinds of various products, we will test them, benchmark them, do scratch tests, drop tests, and all the normal tests that you're used to, so that you, the consumer, will be able to make the appropriate decisions when you actually have to go buy your cereal. As with any other good benchmark test, we will be comparing our product with the best product within the business and also other products that are released. And today we'll be comparing our product with Cheerios, the General Miller's Cheerios. Now this is the most popular cereal that is currently sold in America and also around the world, highest volume, and therefore we will compare our product of today with the Cheerios product and see how it stacks up against this very popular product. Before we get started, just a full disclosure, I'm not being paid for this video, so all my opinions are my own. If I insult the product, know that it comes from the bottom of my heart. No one paid me to insult it. I really truly hate the product, or maybe I love it, who knows. So that's the first thing, and secondly, you might not find this product on your shelves. It was freshly delivered to the shop that I went to today, so it's brand new in my street. So you might have to wait some time before you'll be able to buy it yourself in a shop close to you. So, but without further ado, let's look at the product. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kellogg's Frosties. Again, like I say, you might not know this product, and I'm sorry about that if that's the case. So let's quickly look at this product then. There are several components that I quickly want to go through with you, and then after that we'll get into the benchmark tests. So the first thing we need to look at is the display itself. We have this beautiful 12-inch display, as you can see here, 12-inch. It's wonderful to look at. So we firstly have the full RGB scale here. We have some reds here, we have a green up here, and we have of course this beautiful corpse blue color as well. Very delightful to look at. From the side, there aren't any pixels that are visible. There's also very little reflection. It's a matte screen, so very, very, very nice screen overall. For this category, I'm giving it a 6. Maybe a 6.2. Looking at the rest of the device, if we turn it to the side, you'll see it's a fairly wide device, so not the thinnest that we've seen this season, but I can hold on to this fairly well, and I have small hands. So yeah, it has a lovely grip, so no problem there. The concern usually is, can you actually reach places when you hold a device like this in your hand? And in this case here, you can see there's no problem here. I can stretch almost anywhere on this front screen, and no problem as such. I can actually get anywhere that I need to get to if I want to. In terms of balance, it's not the best balanced device that I've. What am I supposed to see? It's not the best balanced device that I've ever seen. So, yeah. In terms of weight, this product is about 375 Gs. So not the lightest that we've seen all season, but it's also not the worst. We had the iPad recently that was way more heavy than this. So not too bad for a budget device like this. In terms of whether this is an international version or not, this is definitely international version. You'll see there are lots of languages here, most of them that I can't even pronounce, never mind read. So don't worry about whether you can actually use this within your country. You should be fine for the most part of it. Also, the question often is, where was this device made? From what I can tell, it was kind of made everywhere, judging by all the different languages, so it was probably assembled somewhere. So don't worry, you should be mostly fine if you do use this device in your house. Just like so many other devices this season, I'm sad to report that the Frosties dropped the all-important headphone jack here at the bottom. Even though there was enough space here for them to insert it, unfortunately they made the decision not to include it this time around. So for all of you audiophiles out there who like to listen to music while you use your serial device, I'm sorry to say you won't be able to do that from now on. But you should be able to buy a dongle of some sort, and that might fix the problem for you. I'll test this next time.
So the next test is the noise test, and we're measuring the amount of decibels given off by this device while in use. So this will give you a much better indication as to whether it's too noisy maybe for your environment or whether it might be suitable. Okay, so here's the test. So that was test number 1 and test number 2. I hope that give you a much better indication.
In terms of ease of use, you don't need any screwdrivers for this device. As you can see at the top, we also don't have any warranty stickers, so you can actually open this device without, voiding your guarantee. So for most part, you can lift it up with your fingers and then maybe poke it underneath and just move it up and down as such. Open up and gently remove the internal components. So if we look at the internal components here, immediately we see the antenna line here. We have some weak edges here. There's definitely a bit of bend within this product itself, so that might be a problem, especially if you put this in your backpack. We definitely have some dust here at the bottom. On the plus side, this is not a fingerprint magnet at all, and so your device will not look any worse off if you were to handle this over a period of time. So how would you put these components back into the device without damaging it? Well, just remove the flaps, gently put your components back in again, and then again don't require screws, just gently push down and the device should close by itself as such. So for this category, I'm giving it a 10. No, I changed my mind. Make it a 9.7. Next, we're going to do the scratch test, and to help us with this, we have 3 pieces of equipment here. So the first one is called the Biggie. So we are going to use this to scratch our screen and see just how well it holds up to a little bit of abuse. Then we also have the mediocre. If it looks like blood on it, it might be no police outside. That's always good. So, but yeah, this is mediocre. We'll be doing the same thing. And then lastly, I almost couldn't find it there, we have the le petit. So we'll be scratching the box with this as well. So firstly, we have the Biggie here. So I'm gonna slowly move the Biggie over the screen here. As you can see, we instantly have some scratches there. They're not as bad as you would think them to be. So if we can get this into focus. So not too bad at all. Next, I'm going to use the mediocre, and we'll be comparing our results. So next up is the mediocre, and we'll be comparing the results. So if I push down with the mediocre, it damages, but it doesn't go as deep. So with the Biggie, you could see the white components underneath that are poking out. But with the mediocre, it does cause some damage, but it's a little bit more superficial than you would find with the larger Biggie one. And then lastly, the le petit. We're going to drag down as well. And in this case here, very similar to what we had with the mediocre, but the lines are much thinner, so it's a lot more difficult to actually notice the scratches. Next up, we're going to quickly do a drop test. So I'm going to drop the box from 3 different heights. So firstly, let's just do a typical drop maybe on the table. And as you can see here on the side, we have a little bit of damage here, a little dent that formed. So, but it's not too bad, it's your typical iPad drop damage that you will find. So second test will be to drop it from the actual table. So if you're sitting at the table and you accidentally push the device off the table, let's see how damaged it will be. As you can see, the device came open at the top, but it's not too bad. We can close those again. So we have some small cracks that formed here within the screen. So clearly the screen is not all that protective. I mean, it's not that strong. And we have some additional superficial bumps and scratches here on the side as well. And then lastly, the big finale. Let's see what happens, because I often carry my cereal on my head. And let's see what happens. Ooh, it actually didn't fall too badly. And yeah, now in this case here, we can definitely see some serious scratches and bends that actually formed here at the bottom of the device. So yeah, the moral of the story is this is a budget device. You need to get a carry case for it, protective screen, in order to not damage or to keep your device safe from all kinds of harm. For this category, I will give the device a 7.779. Moving on quickly to the benchmark tests. I'm not going to go through all of them. You can go through it by yourself. I'll leave them on the screen, so please do pause the video at each of the benchmark tests if you want to compare the results. But just to highlight a few things for you then. So firstly, the fullness level. If you were to take 1 teaspoon of the Frosties and compare it to 1 teaspoon of the Cheerios, the Frosties will make you feel 40% full, whereas the Cheerios will make you feel 60% more full. So you'll save some money in terms of not feeling as hungry at the end of every spoon that you consume. In terms of energy, both of them have the same amount of power output. So even though the Frosties has a higher sugar content, the Miller's, as we'll see just now, has a much higher fat content, and that kind of balance each other out. So, but in essence, both devices will give you a very good amount of energy. I did over 50 benchmark tests, and the results will be up on the screen for you to browse through at your own leisure. So I just like to highlight a few things for you. So firstly, we can definitely see the Frosties is made up of much more cheaper components compared to the Cheerios. It's definitely evident. Corners were cut to actually help to make this product here and to keep the costs down. And I specifically want to highlight one thing which we sometimes overlook when we look at these different devices, and especially with the Cheerios, where we see there's about 4.3 G of ash within the device, whereas with the Frosties you only get about 1.3 G of ash. So as we all know, a device is not good unless you have a reasonable amount of ash within it. So in this case here, the Frosties unfortunately just can't keep up with the Cheerios. It just doesn't have enough ash within the product. In terms of the cost to value ratio, we definitely see the Frosties is cheaper compared to the Cheerios across the board, from Amazon in America all the way down to Sainsbury's in the UK. And the reason for this is primarily because of the fact that cheaper components were used within the Cheerios. So you can definitely see this in almost all the different organic benchmark tests that I performed. So this could be a very good option, however, for people that are on a budget. So the budget conscious individual might like this, but for spoon, the Cheerios definitely will give you a higher value. On the other hand, if you slap on a good screen protector on this one, and also maybe a carry case, this could still be a very good option to someone who's trying to save some money. So I'm giving this product a 3 or maybe a 9. Well, anyway, that was it. Thanks for watching, I guess. I would have said subscribe, but let's face it, this was absolutely awful for a start. So please don't subscribe. If you are sticking around, I am giving away an iPhone next time. So maybe that's worth waiting for. I don't know. So, but yeah, thanks. I didn't really research how to finish videos, unfortunately. I can't shake your hand. I can't stand up and walk away. I'm not wearing any pants. My mom still loves me. That's good at least. I can click off. Off. I said off. Okay, that didn't work. Even more awkward. I can unplug. So, yes, anyway. Thanks for watching. Bye. I said bye. Bye.